In this video, I attempted to beat Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion without attacking, without dying, all while using followers and summons. It was insane. But first, some context. With the upcoming release of Bethesda's next big game, Starfield, I wanted to go back and play their previous titles, starting with Oblivion. Oblivion was the first Bethesda game I ever played. I still remember being confused at what an RPG even was, but soon I found myself lost in its engaging world, questing for loot, and battling evils I could never have imagined. Everyone remembers the games that blew their minds with possibilities and role-playing. Oblivion was that game for me. As I played this challenge, it felt nostalgic. I have so many fond memories of this game and this world. Like the time I realized there was fast travel. Yes, I played the game for over 40 hours without knowing there was fast travel. Let's just say the ride from Leyawan to Bruma was always an adventure. Or the time I bought the haunted house in Anvil. I still remember waking up to ghosts and discovering the infamous murder basement. It led to a phobia of basements, one I still have. Now, the rules of this challenge were simple. The difficulty was set at normal, I couldn't die. If I did, run restarted. I also couldn't attack my enemies or hit them with any sort of magical effects, unless it was to heal them, which I ended up doing by accident. With that being said, I started my journey by creating a cringe Lord Necromancer and created my own class, Avenger. You see, as a kid, one of my favorite things to do was to collect followers and travel as a group. I loved the epic battles and crazy follower shenanigans, so not being able to attack shouldn't be a problem as long as I have my fellow Oblivion Avengers and conjured allies. Awakening in the dungeon, I immediately start crouching, leveling up my stealth. Even after all these years, I still got it. I watched as the Emperor dies, unable to attack to save him, run past rats and goblins, then emerge in the beautiful lands of Cyrodiil. This world reveal is still one of the best in gaming. It's no secret that Bethesda has tried to recreate this epic reveal in their later titles. While Fallout 3 comes close, none do it like this game though. So with the world as my oyster and not being able to attack, I knew I needed something to do my damage for me, and for that, I was gonna need some coin. I headed straight for the Imperial City. Man, did I miss this place. In my opinion, this city is still amazing. Endless shops, quests, and interesting things to find. I had no coin though, but luckily for me, Oblivion has one of the greatest glitches in all of gaming, the duplication glitch. Most people complain about Bethesda's jank and bugs, but for me, they enhance the experience. Well, most of the time. If you somehow aren't aware, Oblivion has an easy way to duplicate items. By using scrolls, you can double-click, then drop an item. It will create items equal to the amount of scrolls. 13 scrolls, 13 items. Just be warned though, this can literally crash your game if abused, which I've done. A lot. After duplicating some items, I made some easy coin, bought some cheap supplies, then headed for Coral to learn some conjuration magic. My plan was to conjure soldiers to fight at my place, all while drinking endless potions and sitting on my ass. Arriving in Coral, I went straight to the Mages Guild and bought some cheap conjuration spells I could actually use, such as the Dremora. I had no idea which summon was going to be the best, so I knew I was going to need to test them. In the meantime, I was also using the Bound Dagger spell, not to attack though, only to level my conjuration. I knew I was going to need it. After, it was time to build my army, starting with the most important member. It was time for the arena. The Imperial City Arena is one of my favorite areas and questlines in any Bethesda game. The cheer of the crowd, the ability to bet on fights, the poster is also amazing, I just love the artwork. Signing my life away, I joined the blue team, became a lowly maggot, and got ready to make my name in the arena. The first couple fights were pretty easy. Summon a helper, heal myself, run like a coward. In between my fights, I would level up my conjuration and restoration magics while also leveling up. I focused on intelligence to increase my total magic, willpower to increase my magic recharge rate, and then either endurance or strength. As I started to climb the ranks, I noticed the Flame Atronach was the best, hands down. She had ranged fireballs and actually seemed to be aggressive. The others were kinda just there, Like the ghost, he was fine, but compared to the flame lady, he was disappointing. He's no Patrick Swayze. Now, none of these fights were hard. I wasn't really doing anything. However, some were rather slow. Despite the flame Atronach being good, she didn't seem to draw the opponent's aggression, which means she's shooting fireballs and I'm getting my ass kicked. She should be doing both. A lot of the times I would have to hide behind my summon just to ensure the attacks would hit them instead of me. After raising to the level of warrior, I took a break and decided to become an alchemist. You see, raising my alchemy will get me levels, and with levels, I can raise my intelligence even higher, increasing my total magic. Raising my alchemy was rather easy. Duplicate hundreds of ingredients and brew more than a meth cook. One thing I love on this game is the ability to name your potions. I remember creating my own recipes and naming them, then placing them on shelves to make them look legit. My roleplay as a kid was kinda pathetic, but hey, I was happy. And just like that, 100 alchemy and 100 willpower. Before returning to the arena, I went to Coral and bought some more spells. It's here that I discovered the greatest of summons, Daedroth. This massive King K rule looking crocodile, he was a godsend. I had never used this thing in my life, but it was obvious. This thing is amazing. I named him Gerald. Together, me and Gerald destroyed combatant after combatant, staining the sands of the arena in blood. Big orc chick, dead. 3 Argonian prisoners, Gerald made them his prison bitches. Khajiit, pussycat. A dandy man? Huh, as if. The best the yellow team had to offer wasn't good enough for me or Gerald. We, or I should say he, was just too good. Former blades and guys with enchanted shields didn't stand a chance. And then came the pork chop match. You see, the yellow team was scared shitless, so they decided to throw 3 people at us at once. Usually I'm down for that kind of thing, but only if there's a safe word. No safe word, then the gloves are coming off and the Vaseline is coming out. Together, Porkchop and Gerald made easy work of our enemies, all I sat back and watched the beautiful carnage. Then it was time for the fight against the Grey Prince. I didn't do his quest, which makes him accept his death, for me and Gerald wanted a fair fight. I chose my nickname, the Divine Avenger, which I thought was fitting, and met the Grey Prince man to man in the arena. Gerald was also there and killed him. Nice job, Gerald. With that, we became champion of the arena. As me and Gerald exited victorious, the most wonderful fanboy stopped me.
Wow, you're the grand champion. I saw your fight against the Grey Prince. You're the best. Can I follow you around? I won't get in the way.
There he was, by Azora. I love the Adoring fan, always have. Seeing this guy come back in Starfield is amazing. This little derpy guy made the entire arena worth it. Sure, he doesn't fight and runs away like a coward, but who else would hold my torch? Me? I don't even fight for myself. I need a torchbearer. Together, we rode off for Battlehorn Castle, the only DLC I purchased. While this DLC is rather shallow, I've always loved the idea of having my own castle, and more importantly, my own guards. Gerald made easy work of my enemies, and within a few minutes, I was quickly made lord of my very own castle. I made a quick stop to purchase all the upgrades, such as the Battlehorn Aethon, a unique captain that can be ordered to follow me. Just like that, the party had grown to 3. However, it wasn't complete. Together, we made our way to Carol and talked to Reynald Germain. He, along with his brother, were going to be vital to the run. After reuniting them, they asked me to clear their ancestral home. I did that. However, when they asked me to lead them there, let's just say they never arrived. You see, Oblivion treats the brothers as followers. You can issue basic commands and they will fight beside you. What makes the brothers so amazing as followers is the fact they are considered essential, which means that they can't die, unlike other followers. So, with the brothers in tow, I headed for Leyawen to recruit our last member, Mazoga the Orc. I felt the team needed some female representation. I'm team feminism. She needed help killing bandits and being led to a certain place. Yeah, I didn't care, I kinda zoned out, I do this when women talk. But either way, she was welcomed to the team with open arms. After recruiting, it was finally time to begin the main quest. First, we headed to Wayne and Priory to meet with Joffrey. There he tells me of the heir named Martin located in the Temple of Akatosh in Kvatch. When in Kvatch, we are greeted by an Oblivion Gate birthing out monsters. Gotta say, the Oblivion Gates still look cool, and I still love the trippy sky effect. Entering, we are teleported to a plane of Oblivion, and the team starts their battle. We also picked up a new recruit once we convinced him to join. Not gonna lie, we were kicking ass. Until tragedy struck. My captain got disarmed and later lost his life. Mazoga got murdered, and our new recruit fell to his death. Things were looking bad. Good news though, the Immortal Brothers were doing work. I mean, despite being knocked unconscious every 5 seconds, they just kept on swinging. After a few more skirmishes, we were able to ascend the tower, retrieve the sigil stone, and send the bastards back home. However, even after closing the gate, the battle for Kvatch wasn't won. For that, we were going to need to secure the castle. Lots of death happened on the way. Random Kvatch guards, dead. Guy leading us, dead. Random Legion soldiers, dead. Random chick, dead. All this happened while Gerald fought, I watched, and my fanboy ran. After finding the Count's body, the battle was finally over. Then we were able to meet with Martin and convince him to join what was left of the party as we headed to Joffrey. The Mythic Dawn tried to surprise attack us, but they were no match for a monk swordsman and a giant crocodile. After the battle, it's revealed that the bastards stole the Amulet of Kings, and we would need to retrieve it. But first, we headed for Cloud Ruler Temple, home of the Blades. It's there we are instructed to meet Balrus in the Imperial City. I love how they tried to give this mission like a spy feeling, like, oh, don't be seen. I'm literally traveling with 4 of the most conspicuous people ever, dude. Not to mention summoning a massive fucking crocodile. It's revealed that my adversary is the Mythic Dawn, a doomsday cult that makes Scientologists look normal. I'm ordered to find their books, for with them, I can find their secret meeting spot. Getting the books was rather easy. Talked to an Argonian mage, strong armor book nerd, and then went to the meeting in the sewers. You were supposed to play it cool, again, think like a shadow game. Me though? Nope, surprise bitch, time to fight. Add Boris to the death counter. I did try my best at healing, but my aim is bad, so he'll be missed. I respectfully loot his body and make my way out of the sewers. After deciphering the puzzle, we headed off towards the Lake Eris Caverns. Again, I love that me and my crew were welcomed with open arms, no questions asked. And hell, I played along, I let them strip me. I don't need items anyway, and I kinda like a good thorough strip search. This though, is when shit hit the fan. Apparently they were cool with me and everyone else, except the adoring fan. They started to attack him. Then my other followers started to protect him. Yet no one attacked me. Because I can't attack, I can't defend my best friend and watch as he is murdered before my eyes. Even after murdering him in cold blood, they are completely cool with me, like, hey, what do you think about Master? Pretty cool, huh? I wasn't going to stand for this and quickly found a way to gain their aggression. I freed the naked guy, but not before Mankar Cameron escaped with the Amulet of Kings. So damn close. I did manage to collect the Mysterium Xerxes book, but it felt like a loss. I mean, I watched my best friend, my rock, my fanboy die before my eyes. I was devastated. But he did respawn in 3 days. We made our way back to Cloud Ruler Temple where we were tasked with hunting spies in Bruma. Again, spycraft is my specialty. By Azora, boom, dead, there you go. After, Martin informed me that in order to gain access to the paradise, he was going to need a few ritualistic items. First, a Daedric artifact. I love these missions. Doing a unique mission for an evil god and earning a reward has always been badass. Usually I would sacrifice the mace, for I'm never really a blunt user, but this time I did something different. I chose Pereites. Pereites? I chose the dragon thing. I had the level required, I didn't need offerings, and the Spellbreaker was my favorite shield as a kid. The mission was easy. I needed to free 5 souls from Oblivion. What sucks is I couldn't bring my team, but overall, it was a walk in the park. Mostly running and spamming the big guy to take some of the incoming fire. After a few minutes, the souls were freed, and Spellbreaker was mine. Back with Martin, I give up the shield, then I'm off to stop another Gate of Oblivion, this time in the city of Bruma. Arriving at the gate, I'm greeted by Bird, and together we assemble and march into Oblivion. As Bird gives a rallying speech, me and the crew kinda stuck to the back. Entering the gate, we are in for a fight. Having the extra men really makes this feel like a massive battle. As we ascended the tower, we were greeted by the horrors of Oblivion. However, after some quick fights, we made it easily to the top. While the party led the distraction, I ran for the sigil stone. We did it. And we didn't have a single casualty. Returning to Joffrey and Martin, we are told to gather allies for Bruma and retrieve Tiber Septim's armor from Sanctor Tor needed for the ritual. But first, it was time to get some allies of our own. I headed to Leywyn to talk to Rosinta Galenus, who's came in possession of a Daedric staff. This staff makes 4 scamps follow you. She wants to end this curse, but I have other uses. Welcome to the army, boys. Now, these guys, I soon came to realize, sucked. They never attacked, lowered your speed, and blocked your path. But still, what can you do? After building up the party, it was time to go on a journey collecting allies for Bruma. First, Anvil, which wanted us to close their Oblivion Gate. We've done this countless times, we'll be fine. That is, until they placed claymores. Yes, landmines. This bodies your followers since they have the agility of a newborn calf. So, Adoring Fan and Knight, dead. We mourned them as we closed the gate, then earned Anvil's favor. Next was Coral, another ally, another gate needing closed. After this one, I stopped. I was the Divine Avenger, not the Oblivion Gate Janitor. These people needed to learn to defend themselves, okay? Stop having other people fight your battles for you. Ignoring self-awareness, I finally headed for Sanctor Tor to collect the required armor. Before we went though, I tried to outfit my party. This took hours. Buying bound armor spells, buying repair hammers, getting attacked, then repairing bound armor, dropping it, waiting, then going invisible, then pickpocketing them, all while hoping they put it on. You see, followers can't be giving items that weigh anything. So, working around this is frustrating. Damn did I miss a simple trade menu. However, I did manage to give us all hoods, so we all match and look fabulous together. Arriving at Sanctor Tor, this was by far the worst part of the run. None of my followers would follow me inside the ruins. Once inside, the wraiths would hit me with blasts that immobilized me, all while Gerald struggled to kill them. Was it hard? No, but it was time consuming. After the long and tedious mission, I finally retrieved the armor, thank God. But it was bittersweet. As I emerged, I found my horse, the Adoring Fan, and my knight all dead. My horse seemed shocked by this. Giving the armor to Martin, he informs me that he still needs more. I am to go to Miss Karkan. Good news though, this time my crew actually followed me inside and helped me fight. The new guard was pulling his weight, until he died. After some puzzle solving, we were able to gather the Great Wyland Stone, kill the evil king, and escape. Oh, and the Adoring Fan died, but that can kind of go with saying at this point. Returning the Cloud Ruler Temple and gifting the stone to Martin, he informs us that he needs a Great Sigil Stone. So he plans on allowing the Great Oblivion Gate to be opened in Bruma, just so we can snatch it. He sold me on this plan. Using common folks as sacrifices to achieve your goals? I was happy to see Martin was finally acting like a ruler. After resupplying and rallying my men, the great battle began. Our goal was to hold the line until the Great Gate opened. This felt like a massive battle and I loved every second of it. I did my usual, stick to the back, heal my party, pray they don't die. After a few minutes of carnage, the Great Gate opened and I rushed to close it before the Oblivion Penetrator could impregnate Bruma. Taking the Great Sigil Stone, the gate closed and the battle was won. For my heroic deeds, I was even given a round of applause. But it was not all cheers and good job ass slaps. We lost Joffrey, generic Bruma soldier, Bird, and the Adoring Fan. Before the final showdown, I took the boys drinking after I went to the clinic. Apparently I'd been playing with the disease and I kept it from the party. But it was finally time to go see Martin. Arriving at Cloud Ruler Temple, Martin opens the portal to paradise and I dive in. It sucks my party couldn't come with me because this wasn't a paradise. This was a sexual fantasy. How can you not see it? Whose paradise has shirtless men trying to assault helpless deer? Look at the signs. Hard wood everywhere. Always getting attacked from the rear. A cult. The forbidden grotto, the back door of paradise, kinky lava. I needed to escape, and escape I did. Together, me and Gerald stopped Mankar Cameron and retrieved the Amulet of Kings. I did notice, though, after this mission, Gerald was walking kind of funny. He doesn't want to talk about it, though. He's a silent type. After, we made Martin an honorary member of the team and guide him to the Imperial City. As we do, the city is attacked, and we must guide Martin towards the Dragon Fire. Mehrunes Dagon also shows up and teabags the entire city as we fight wave after wave of Oblivion Hellspawn. Soon, me and Martin enter the tower, he gives players a glimpse of the sequel, and Oblivion gates are closed for eternity. We finally did it. For my efforts, I've earned the Champion of Cyrodiil title. It is sad that Martin had to sacrifice himself in order to achieve victory, but hey, so did the adoring fan, and he didn't get a cool-ass dragon statue. After the battle, it was finally time to break up the party and head our separate ways. First, I made my way to Darkfathom Cave and delivered the Everscamp staff. I said goodbye to these little guys. Sure, they were useless, smelled like feces, and told inappropriate jokes, but they were still going to be missed. Next, I headed for Weatherlay, finally fulfilling my promise to deliver the brothers to their ancestral home. I had to convince them that this was it, due to the numerous concussions that made them a bit confused. I mean, CTE is real, people. After, I waited for my adoring fan to respawn so I could say my farewells. Yet, he never did. This isn't a joke, by the way. I waited weeks for him to respawn, yet nothing. This made me sad. I was finally alone. Not even Gerald was at my side because he was at the clinic. As I rode into the darkness, I looked back fondly on our journey. Overall, I can't tell you how much this game means to me. It inspired me as a child, pushing me to be creative, and it still inspires me to this day. If you have a challenge you want to see me do, leave it down in the comment section. My plan is to do fun playthroughs of Bethesda games before the launch of Starfield. If you like this style of content, subscribe and leave a like. Have a good one.